Have you ever heard someone say, "Stop crying, you sound like a little girl"? Little girls are treated like delicate flowers. They are sensitive, and most people believe they need to be protected. Well, I want to tell you about a little girl that is not so delicate. When she was 5 years old, she was diagnosed with lupus. Lupus is an autoimmune disease that can affect every part of your body, from your skin to your joints to your major organs. There is only a 5% chance for a child that age to have lupus. We found out this delicate little girl was not so delicate after all. Today I am commemorating my daughter, Eden Elise Henley. As a mother, I wanted to protect my child from all harm. When she was at school, I would break down and cry several times a day. More than once during the day, I found myself on my knees praying for my baby. Then when she would get home from school, I would pull myself together for my weak, delicate little girl. But Eden has proved to be more than weak or delicate. Eden has proved to be strong and determined. Eden has undergone multiple tests and hospital stays. Eden went from an active little girl to a little girl who had limits on what she could do. Eden has had several surgeries and even had spinal meningitis, which she contracted from a friend that had a viral rash. The nurse from school had called me and said Eden had been complaining all morning with headaches. I went to school and picked her up. I could tell she was not feeling well, and she fell asleep as soon as we got in the truck. After we got home, Eden began vomiting, and she would fall right back to sleep after. I called my mother, who is a registered nurse, to tell her what was going on with my daughter. She came to my house after work and said we should take Eden to the emergency room. We did, and we found out Eden had caught the viral part of her friend's rash. It caused spinal meningitis, and we ended up with a 3-day stay in the hospital. The doctor explained that because of the lupus, her immune system was depleted, and she couldn't fight off any kind of infection. After the 3 days in the hospital, she was quarantined in our house for 3 weeks. The doctor would not release her to go back to school, not because she was contagious to anyone, but because people were contagious to her. Even through all of this, Eden has remained strong. Eden does not treat this as a disease. Eden treats this as something she can overcome. Now my little girl will be 11 years old this May. She is active in sports and loves to attend church. Last October, Eden and her little brother Logan were both baptized. Eden has proved that little girls are not as helpless as people believe. They can be just as tough as little boys, if not tougher sometimes. I remember one time during her blood workup, she jumped in the chair and stuck out her arm. The nurse looked at me and told me she had grown men in there that act worse than my little girl did. Eden told her, "I don't mind getting stuck with the needle, as long as you don't wiggle the needle around. If you miss, please take it out and stick me again. Just don't wiggle the needle. That hurts." She has gone through blood work several times and has always behaved this way. I could not be more proud of my tough, not so delicate little girl. So today I commemorate my daughter, Eden Elise Henley. She is truly an inspiration to us all. Thank you.